Hello everyone, my name is Eva Paraschou and I am a researcher at the INCENTIVE project and the Data and Web Science Lab of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. INCENTIVE is a Horizon 2020 project that aims at mobilizing citizens and stakeholders to become agents of scientific change through their direct participation. The participating institutes and universities are guided to open their doors to citizens and equip them with the necessary tools for enhanced scientific skills. Our ambition is to create a new generation of citizen scientists and a new institutional European paradigm that bridges science with society. In this webinar, I will present a tutorial on the INCENTIVE Digital Toolkit in order to provide an overview of its functionalities, capabilities, and potential use cases. It aims to act as a stepping stone for external stakeholders interested in getting informed about various citizen science news and activities, or even organizing one with mining information from the digital toolkit. The main goal of the digital toolkit is to offer access to a set of organized resources and information that can bring value to the online interaction among citizen science hubs and external stakeholders, as well as between citizen science hubs by exchanging results, good practices, and lessons learned. Thus, the target audience of the digital toolkit is broad, containing the citizen science hubs and their implementation and running teams primarily, and in parallel, engaging several stakeholders such as citizens, academia, innovators, businesses, and authorities. The digital toolkit is developed by the incentive partner Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and it's available in the link toolkit.incentiveproject.eu. The toolkit's homepage is designed for easy access to the available components, namely Community Insider, Research Library, and Citizen Science Forum. In its top header, there is a small description and a button that redirects the user to the respective component. Further below the incentive project, its scope and objectives are described in the way that we mentioned above. Finally, at the bottom section of the homepage, called Footer, the visitor can find the website's disclaimer notice, privacy policy, and contact information. Now we are moving into the first component of the digital toolkit, which is Community Insider. Community Insider introduces a central point where users can witness the flow of news and activities surrounding citizen science and at the same time get a glimpse of the ongoing public dialogue and online trends as are expressed in social media interactions and content threads. This component, essentially a crowdsourced news and topics observatory, aims to raise awareness of what citizen science is about today. It enables users to gain evidence of current citizen science practices and the impact citizen science can have on contemporary societies, the environment, and the economy. On the left side, there is a vertical menu which contains all the subcomponents of the Community Insider. Starting from the news and events, here we already are, there is a section that aggregates, organizes, and presents news, ongoing activities, and events related to citizen science and public engagement, harvested from trusted online sources worldwide. As in most of these subcomponents, there is the option for selecting a specific date range for which the user wants to receive information. Moving to the dashboard, from this section begins the crowdsourcing observatory, which captures the wisdom of the crowds by tapping on the ongoing public discussions on Twitter. All the sections from dashboard and below aim to analyze and visualize data related to the concept of citizen science and open science activities as they are collected from the social network of Twitter. In more detail, dashboard presents an overview of what happened today. Afterwards, the word cloud, some component, visualizes the hashtags and words that have been used the most on Twitter when users discuss citizen science. The bigger the word, the more times it has been mentioned in discussions. At this point, we can jump into an example. Imagine that you need to organize in March an event that focuses on a thematic area that is highly discussed on Twitter and thus indicates that it concerns a lot of the general public. The hashtags word cloud with a date range of the month of February indicates some trends in the discussions. There are a lot of hashtags regarding gender equality and women in STEM. Additionally, it's known that on 11th of February is celebrated as the World Day of Women in STEM. In this way, you can assume that the topic of gender equality could have a great appeal as a thematic area of an event during March. Furthermore, if you need to be sure that these results are not random, we can try exactly the same trend extraction from January's hashtags word cloud. It's obvious how much lower gender and STEM-related words are, so your decision-making process is valid. The next two subcomponents, namely top favorites and top retweeted, present the 10 tweets with the most likes and retweets, respectively, allowing users to enable a data range filtering to select the exact dates for the above aggregations. Finally, inside the subcomponent top URLs, the URLs that have been used the most in the tweets about citizen science are listed, while the subcomponent top user present the users that tweet the most and those that influence the others the most. Overall, by providing visualizations and filtering capabilities along with topic-level details, the users are encouraged to discover inspiring content and trends, understand thematic relationship, as well as to explore real use cases. The second component of the digital toolkit, the resource library, maintains a library of digital citizen science resources in order to provide a central point of access to the various digital tools and materials around citizen science. The resource library contains links to already available online resources from citizen science projects and initiatives and thus enables stakeholders to discover and get inspired from work shared by other communities. Moreover, when the incentive citizen science hubs implement their various activities and projects, the resource library will contain all the material developed throughout them. At the top of the page, there are two menus offering filtering functionality by selecting specific topic categories and types of resources. There are available 7 categories, which are biodiversity, multi-themed, open sciences, SDGs, RRI, environment, and food, along with 9 research types, namely mobile app, web app, open source tool, web platform, citizen dataset, crowdsourcing, toolkit, service, and toolbox. Each combination renders on screen only the resources that satisfy the chosen criteria and enables users to focus on what they are most interested in. Each resource is displayed on a card accompanied by its logo image, title, a brief description, the address that links to the originating website, and the relevant tags. If we advance a step further in our previous example, let's suppose that the selected topic is gender equality. If you are the organizer, you will probably need to search more for details about the topic, and you could do this from the resource library. The topic is definitely considered under the category multi-themed, and after a short time of playing with the first 2 options, you would locate some information in the RRI tools. It is a web platform that provides training and information on conducting responsible research and innovation. And why is gender equality there? Because it's a principle that should be adaptable in every research activity. Thus, you can extract information on how to embed gender equality inside your activities, teams, and outcomes. Overall, the resource library not only facilitates the reuse of existing citizen science resources, but in the process, it will also help to strengthen the dissemination of the results of the work done in the citizen science hubs. The last component of the digital toolkit is the discussion forum, which aims to act as a contact point between citizen science hubs and other stakeholders interested in citizen science initiatives. Through the forum, various citizen science activities are visible to the public, while at the same time, a public dialogue can be established to promote grassroots ideas and receive collective reactions on citizen science-oriented themes of interest. The forum offers various functionalities to increase interactivity between different stakeholders. For example, it implements polls, calendars, and thread discussions. In order for users to have access to the forum, they need an account, and the permission level of it enables the corresponding visibility level. Thus, there are discussion and threads that are visible only in higher permission level accounts, such as, for example, the organization process of an event, and others that are visible to the accounts with lower permission level, who are most usually involved citizens. To give a more detailed example of how the discussion forum can be used, I will present how the Citizen Science Hub of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki utilized it during a project. There was a category Citizen Science Project, which contains discussions and outcomes of the activities organized within the Incentive Citizen Science Hubs. Inside the activity, there is a thread with the title Fact or Faked Disinformation in Digital Social Network, which is the title of the specific activity implementing under the Citizen Science Hub. So, in this thread, the participants of the activity were encouraged to upload and share their outcomes, and this was the stepping stone for further discussions around the results of the activity. Similarly, following the case of the example for the gender equality themed event, a new thread could be initialized to offer space for good practices, exchange, and asynchronous communication after the event. Overall, the discussion forum offers the possibility to get informed about actions done around citizen science and preserve open discussions asynchronously. In this webinar, I described the main components of the INCENTIVE Digital Toolkit and their functionality, as well as demonstrated how internal and external stakeholders could make use of it for their citizen science project and initiatives. Thank you very much for the time to dive together into the INCENTIVE Digital Toolkit. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.